Hello friends, it's a pleasure to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. My name is Delali Frank and the channel is Del Soccer. If it's your first time here, as usual, please subscribe to the channel and let's build this community together. So in today's edition of Explainer, we are going to talk about Otto Addo and the Black Stars. He's set to hand over his provisional squad to FIFA, around 36 squad, a men's squad. But remember that only 26 will be going to the World Cup. So today we are going to talk about what you should expect as a fan, and a few things that you should also look out for as Otto Addo is set to give his final squad. Let's go straight into today's video. Good. So as mandatory and as expected by FIFA, every country that will be going to the World Cup, or every head coach, is expected to present 36-man squad to FIFA. In that 36-man squad, that the country will take 26 out of that. It's very important because FIFA is going to use that to prepare for accreditation and a lot of things, and it also helps the countries to know who will be going to the World Cup, and also helps players to know. As at the time I'm doing this video, the players that Otto Addo will submit their names, they already know it. Yeah, if you are watching this video, as at this point, Otto Addo knows it, the FA knows it, even the players that the head coach are going to submit their name, at this point they know themselves. So don't be like, they know themselves. Maybe they won't say it out, but the players that will be making those lists, they already know themselves. But I'm going to tell you a few things you should expect. The first thing is that the list will not be extremely different from the kind of players that Otto Addo have called in a few times. And Otto Addo has said it in an interview that he pretty much has 70% of his squad, and the team that he called in our last two friendly games, 70% of them will be going to the World Cup, and it's no surprise. Players, so I just want to say, I think few players that might not make it are the ones that he was trying to test, especially the center backs. I think places where there might be a shock might be purely the center backs, but the truth is that 90% of the players that he called will be part of this 36 squad, because this 36 give him an opportunity to monitor everybody and add a lot of players. Another thing is that he might add players that we've not seen in the squad in the last few games that he has played to accommodate space, and also give him an opportunity to monitor them. So maybe you might see Salis in that squad. Maybe you might see Majid Ashimeru in that 36 players that he will submit to FIFA. It does not mean that they will go to the World Cup. It means that he will look for an opportunity to study them so much, and also look at who best fits his squad. So maybe you might see Salis, you might see Joseph Pencil also in there. You might see some few players that are making names, and some few players that Otto Addo would want to monitor again. So always pay attention to these players. If you make it to the 36, that means that you are being monitored. Another thing that you also need to take note of is there'll be an inclusion of at least 2 local players. And I'm not speaking because I've seen any list anywhere. And I'm speaking based on experience and conversations that I've picked around. It's because, remember, immediately we got to know, or like it became very famous in the media, that appearance fee, FIFA will be giving some specific amount of money to clubs that players represent. The call for local players in the squad became higher. And I think as a result of that, Otto Addo might call at least 2 players from the local league. I have a strong feeling that one of them obviously will be a free Barney. Fortunately for him, there's no league. You know, there's no league, and that's good news for a free Barney, because there has not been any other player, out-and-out player, that can give him competition instantly. Assuming we start the season, we play 3, 5, 8 matches, and another player somewhere is performing exceptionally well that everybody is talking about him, Otto Addo might be forced to drop Barnier for that player. You get me? So Barnier has no competition, so he'll be in the squad. He even starts a greater possibility of making the 26. And then there might be a goalkeeper. That might be Kotoko's goalkeeper, Danlad Ibrahim. Danlad, because he has been through our national team, 17, U20, U23. He has been with the national team to that level that the coaches might include him in the 36. That does not mean that he will be going to the World Cup automatically. But I think Otto Addo might include 2 players from the local league in the 36 squad. Maybe more than 2, but basically 2. So as Otto Addo is set to submit his squad to FIFA, I think these are the few pointers you need to pay attention to. First of all, the 36 players will not be like surprise names, like there will be no French player that you've not seen in a while. It will be around the normal players we have seen, because it's also an opportunity for him to monitor players, because that's 36 players you'll be submitting. Out of that he will pick his 36, his 26. He will try everything possible to include some few players that were not part of his friendly games that he has played. So maybe you might see Salas, Majid Ashmeru, and some few other players that have switched nationality in the squad. So don't be surprised. And also he will introduce few local-based players, because of the core and the constant conversation that there should be at least a local player in the national team. So let me also know what you think and what you are expecting from Otto Addo's squad. But basically, it's not going to be something different from what you already know. And some few players that you already know will still be in the squad. So that's today's edition. That's the end of today's video. As usual, my name is Delali Frank. If you love what we do here, please subscribe. It's very free. You can do it without any pressure. Subscribe, hit on the subscription button, and let's build this community together. But until we meet again, bye-bye for now.